welcome back to the Tuesday show. So, James, what else is going on? What do you want to talk about?
One of my favorite people who writes about strategy in the fighting game community, Mr. Jay Snyder, aka Viscant, just recently wrote a blog post on Broken Tears blog talking about the current state of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 team tiers going into 2014. He wrote one earlier last year, and this is basically kind of like an update to that and how he's changed his mind about certain things. So,
right.
Yeah.
It's always awesome to read Viscant or to listen to him, because I think that he's one of the most intelligent players in the fighting game community, specifically when it comes to strategy. He's always had a great mind for it.
Yeah.
I mean, he broke down Marvel 3 before most people did, and that's a major reason why he won EVO the first time, because he just had this better understanding, faster understanding of it than a lot of people.
So he broke down Marvel 2 a lot, too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of theoretical things that he had that, you know, Viscant or Viscant is not one of the greatest execution players, right? So there were certain things that he theorized that he couldn't do, but eventually someone would figure it out, and he was kind of proven right, like, most of the time. So I love reading his take on it, because he discusses this game, which is largely considered, throwing spaghetti at walls and stuff just happens, right? But he breaks the game down in a very scientific and analytical fashion, so it's always super fascinating to read.
Yeah, so I think it's funny because that's kind of where he starts, with the idea that the game is about limiting randomness by limiting your opponent from playing at all.
Right.
That's like the game nowadays, which is funny because there were people who talked about that early on in 2013 and in 2012. We heard people talking about that. Now it's what everybody does.
Yeah.
That's what everybody does. So.
And so the way you control the randomness is just not letting the... I love how he described it. It's just, your whole goal in this game is to not let your opponent play.
Yeah.
And you know what? To his credit, he says that's what a lot of games are like, right? If you play a good Guilty Gear match and you play against a good Eddie, you aren't playing a game. You are just blocking, at the mercy of two characters attacking you at the same time. And there are some times when you play those matches where you're just like, you can't even do anything. So it is like a one-player game, right? Except in Marvel, it literally feels that way because as soon as they touch a character, they kill them. Like, you don't even get that one chance to block, you know? So the most interesting thing to me, though, is that, all of us, everybody who watches the game can kind of see this convergence towards Zero. And that Zero is becoming the dominant force in this game, right? Because we see a ton of Zero teams now, but he actually still thinks that there is the possibility that we will be discovering things that may limit the Zero teams. That he actually believes that there may be some non-Zero Virgil kind of teams that may crop up still, and shake up the landscape in 2014.
Yeah, I think he talks specifically about Frank variations, but he also mentions the fact that obviously non-optimized Zero Team 1 Evo, second place was Wolverine Storm Akuma. After that was Wolverine Dorm Shuma. So it's like, it doesn't always play out this way, but as an overtime trend, I think that's more what he's talking about.
Yeah, and I mean, let's face it, if we took Chris G out of the equation, I think there would be a lot more Zeros winning majors. Right?
Could be.
Because, I mean, Flocker's gotten second place at a couple of...
Oh, yeah. A bunch.
Events, so, and then always losing to Chris G. So, Chris G, I mean, it's really funny, like, kind of related to this is, I forgot who it was who tracked this, but they tracked the character's win rate efficiency in AE 2012 in tournaments, and Rufus has, like, the highest rating. Why? Because Justin and Ricky are like the only Rufuses and they're winning all the time, right? So that's how much one person can skew results, right? So right now, Chris G is skewing a lot of the results. I would imagine if he was not in there, Zeros would probably be dominating a lot more than they are. So, I don't know. I hope Jay's right, because right now, my future that I see is just 0, 0, 0 all day. And, that character is just too effective because what he said is that he puts you in like 4 or 5 50-50s, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And
yeah, it's full screen space control that results in a character kill into a likely kill on the rest of the team.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
And when you even if you block something on incoming, he's gonna hit you like with this next 4 mix-ups, and then they all lead to the same combo, which kills you.
And he does it without putting himself at risk.
Yeah. So
he's really good. I mean, I definitely know the game well enough to like argue with any of this. So I don't know. I guess I'll just take his word for it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you guys get a chance, definitely check it out on brokentier.com/blogs. You should be able to find the article there.
I definitely hope to see more of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not just from him, not just from Jay, but it'd be awesome if the other guys wrote stuff too. I just would love to see their perspectives on things.
Yeah. On every game, any game, every game that you.
I really like seeing top players break down games. That's like what I love most about.
And you know what? I mean,
games.
I do have to, I guess, take a little moment to give a little shout outs to the new staff that they hired for Shoryuken.com, because they got a bunch of new writers there, including guys like James Shea, who we had on the show teaching us how to play Persona and stuff like that. There was a Smash player they got on there. There's a player. I mean, James is obviously living in Japan right now. So, and then we had another player who grew up mostly in Europe. So they did a really good job getting like a variety. So I'm kind of excited to see. Hopefully we'll have a lot more news on a variety of games and stuff. So
that would be really nice. It's good to get different perspectives. Speaking of a different kind of perspective, Alex Jabali is now the community manager
of
for Iron Galaxy.
What I'm interested in is, does this mean he has to move, or does he get to do this remote?
They have studios in Orlando.
Oh, really?
They do. They do. Yeah.
Okay,
so it's a happy little coincidence. That's where Alex lives. They have studios there. That works out. I don't know what he's doing in terms of his real job.
Oh, he works with his family, and they sell like Disney tickets and stuff like that. I
assume that's still happening.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Probably.
And of course, I'm sure he's still planning for CEO, so he's a busy man nowadays.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that hire?
I mean, it was nice knowing Iron Galaxy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, I mean, it's an interesting choice, but Jabali's been doing a very good job promoting Dive Kick, so I can see why that they would hire him. In fact, he was at a lot of the Iron Galaxy booths at PAX East and stuff like that. So, you know, he's a very good public speaker.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's good at selling things. He's good at. So I can imagine him working with other companies and talking to other groups and stuff like that. He'd be very good. He's a very type A personality.
Yeah, so he and his crew have built up CEO pretty quickly into a major of majors. It's not that old, but he, in terms of its modern incarnation, but he has built that pretty quickly, and he's done a great job of reaching out to companies for sponsors. He's had some pretty big sponsors over there. So yeah, I think it's a great hire. I like the idea of it too. That is, I love the idea of a developer hiring somebody, again, from the fighting game community to interface directly with people who are its customers. That's just, I mean, I love that idea. We've seen it from Capcom. We've seen it from Double Helix. We've seen it from NRS. Now we see it from Iron Galaxy. So
yeah, I'm curious.
Smart.
I wonder if hiring Jabali might be a sign that they're working on a Dive Kick sequel, maybe? That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. We'll see. Okay.
It would be cool. I would definitely approve of that.
Okay.
Definitely like that game. Well, you want to head on down to this last one now?
Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about this, right?
We didn't get a chance to talk about that. Let's talk about this. This is my favorite story of the day.
Saving the best for last.
Exactly right. It was the 12th Cooperation Cup.
Third Strike in Japan. Teams. Was it 5v5? I think it was?
I believe so.
5v5. I got to see the grand finals.
Oh, if you haven't seen it, please watch the grand finals.
So I've been playing a lot of Third Strike at Super Arcade.
Yeah.
I've been playing that a lot. And I've mostly been using Dudley.
And you've been getting a lot better.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I just can't beat you. That's it. But I've been getting a lot better at the game. But then Kokojin is on one of the teams on the grand finals, and I don't if you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it.
Ridiculous. He is ridiculous.
Kokojin, dude, oh my god, so good. Kokojin just I don't know. It's just when you watch him play, he's moving at a speed that's faster than everyone else. It felt like, you know what I mean. So
yeah. So okay, first place team was Rikimaru with Chun, Kokujin with Dudley, Boss, Yun, Chance, Makoto, and Mimura with Makoto. Second place was Pierrot, Remy, Tokura, Yang, Yakun with Yun, Ochibi with Yun, and KO with Yang.
The Yun Yang team. And Remy.
Right, yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah. And third place was MOV Chun, Inzai Sensei with Chun, Ushi with Chun, Keeper with Ken, and Sat with Ryu. Wow, that's ridiculous. By the way,
Dude,
Denjin Ryu. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. One thing that you should note, though, was that every match was one game.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So, to be honest with you, if it wasn't that, like, because I look at the results and I'm really surprised MOV even lost, right? You know, because his Chun is ridiculous. He even said his Chun should be banned at tournaments. So, but apparently, somehow he lost to somebody, so...
So, because it's single elim, there were two teams tied for third place. Showtime was Kuni with Ryu, Nekomanma with Ryu, Sho with Yun, Ike with Dudley, and Koshin with Chun-Li.
Were they also Denjin Ryus as well, the other two?
All the Ryus I saw were Denjin. So I don't know.
That's awesome.
I don't know if maybe I didn't see all of the Ryus play or not, but all the ones that I saw were Denjin, which is so cool.
Right.
Just to talk about the play. Play was amazing. I mean, the level of play was amazing, but a little surprising to me too, in that they are very guess heavy, very parry heavy, and that surprises me because in the U.S., when we got to like the very top level of play, guess parries, that is to say like wake up parry, not super common actually. It got to be so that it was just not a risk worth taking. If you're waking up against Chun-Li, and it's like, is she going to do a high attack into 40% of my life or a low attack into 40% of my life?
Or Kara throw, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's not a good guess, but they were doing that a lot. A lot. So I don't know if maybe the style of play over there has changed. Maybe they've been playing this game at a top tier level the whole time.
Right.
So I'm sure the game has changed. But I thought that was really interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody in the chat is from Japan or has hung around a lot of Japanese tournaments in the past, but there was always these interviews that I would get from, like, when they interviewed Daigo, like, do you like playing in Japan or America? He would always say, I like playing in America because the audience gets more excited. Like, they actually go crazy and cheer a lot. The interesting thing to me when I was watching that tournament was the audience was just going nuts, like, the whole tournament. And not only that, but, like, even every time, for example, Kokujin would win, he would just jump up and, like, high-five everybody and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
I feel like a lot of that hype culture of the FGC, like, if that's not how it was before, that it's bleeding over there, and I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool. So I hope that's the case.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
I mean, to look at older things like the old SBOs, like the first one where ST team has like suits on and remember that, like and they were always post and pre-match interviews, and there wasn't really that much popping off. So yeah, I hope that that's the case.
Yeah.
It certainly seemed like it. But I don't know how you could not go nuts for the action that was going on.
It was good stuff.
You gotta see it.
Stuff,
you gotta see it. I'm not gonna link it because I think I don't know if we're supposed to do that. Like,
because it might have been somebody else. Oh, okay.
It's definitely not authorized. But if you were to
Gotcha.
Google it yourself, YouTube it yourself, you would find it.
2014 Cooperation Cup, right?
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, you really have to see it. It was awesome.
Yeah. And I'm excited to play some more Dudley. I mean, the interesting thing is, honestly, he didn't do anything that I hadn't seen before. He just knew the right thing to do every single time, and it was so beautiful.
His spacing was ridiculous.
Yeah.
His mix-ups were ridiculous.
Dude, that one time he did with early low roundhouse into backswing blow, I was just like, oh my god, you are God. That was one thing that I had never seen before, and I was like, that is so beautiful, that is amazing.
Yeah.
And then it's just like I said, like the sequences that he would do close up, like he would hit you with low short, and every time someone hits you with low short and pauses, it's always because they want to do low short overhead, right? So he did low short, low roundhouse, and the guy just stood up and just caught. Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's not common in Third Strike for there to be block strings. That's not like a big part of that game.
Right.
But he had that because he had the variation. He had enough of a variation in terms of parry timings and toward or down that nobody blew him up for it. Yeah. And he blew plenty of people up with his own parries.
No one blew him up. It came close, but I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay,
so,
fine.
Oh, man.
You gotta
so
watch
good.
it.
It's so good. So, yeah. Okay.
Want to take one more break?
Oh, yeah, sure, no problem.
When we come back, we will have our final segment of the night.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back to the Tuesday show, final segment of the night. Earlier tonight, Mr. Wizard put a tweet out. The text of the tweet was, "The EVO lineup has not been locked in yet. This is probably your final chance to give us your input!" Exclamation point. What games do you want to see at EVO? Question mark. So as a result, lots of people have been talking about games that they want to see at EVO. Last year there were a ton of games. Unknown whether they're going to do that again. It seemed to go pretty well.
Right.
But hard to know whether they want to have 9 games again or not.
See, that's the thing that's tricky to me, because I can't lie. The fact that we had finals like on Friday and Saturday was actually kind of hype.
I liked it. Yeah, I agree.
In a weird way, I kind of appreciated that, because then, like, on Friday, some games actually got, like, a good show, especially because games like Tekken, were with Bronson's crazy run, and then in Persona, I believe it was, is when, you know, we had 2 of the American players, like Lord Knight, you know, he got second place or third place?
I think second.
Second, yeah. So, you know, it was just super exciting. It was kind of neat. It felt different, but I kind of liked it.
Agreed.
So, I would like to see 9 games again, but I know that's hard. It's
tall
rough.
order.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. So, I don't know. Like, what games do you want to see there? Obviously,
look, everybody knows Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3, whatever variations exist at the time will be there. Mm-hmm. That's not controversial at all. My own wish is for at least SF4, Marvel 3, Injustice, BlazBlue or Guilty Gear, Tekken, Smash, and KOF. Again, whatever versions are out at the time. If the new Smash is out, that'd be cool.
I heard late 2014.
Right, yeah, probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
If Ultra Street Fighter 4, if that's possible, that'd be great. If not, whatever. You know, things like that. So
right. I mean, I would love Smash to be back. In fact, I want Smash to be back.
I kind of assume it'll be back. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, the way that it went, yeah, obviously Street Fighter Marvel coming back. So those are like 3 of the games already there. I would prefer putting BlazBlue over Guilty Gear only because there's the new version of Guilty Gear looming over everyone. So I think everyone's more interested in BlazBlue right now.
I would rather see BlazBlue personally.
Yeah. I'm really curious about KI because I want to see how the game looks when the best players around the world get together for KI. I want to see how the game looks in a way. And, you know, right now we're playing it on just these small regions. I want to kind of get that situation where it collides. But, I mean, I don't know, you know, how well the game is doing at all the events and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Like, honestly, one of the big questions to me is what 3D game is going in. That,
I think, is one of the big questions for sure. Will there be a 3D game?
Right.
I don't know, because it wasn't that successful last year. Bronson aside, the numbers weren't that great.
It was the 2nd or 3rd lowest game, I think it was.
Yeah, I think only MK9 was lower, if I recall correctly. Yeah. That's not a good look. If there are 9 games again, then I really hope Tekken is in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like it would be.
Yeah.
But if they were to limit it to 6 games, maybe even 7 games, you might not see it.
So, I mean, I obviously said I really want Smash Brothers in there, but secretly in my heart, I also really, really hope KOF comes back.
Yeah,
because,
I figure probably.
Dude, the way KOF started Sunday Finals was just... I mean, maybe it was because we got lucky because we had this really dramatic finish, how it went. But that's 2 years in a row KOF has brought the hype, right? That's 2 years in very few games can claim that, you know. Especially when the second year was the 10 in the morning game.
Right.
The 10 in the morning game, and we had huge stream numbers for that game, and it was hype as hell, right? So I would love to see KOF 13 come back. I don't play the game, but I love watching it, and it's fast-paced. It's a great way to start the morning off, and the KOF fans were all there to cheer on the game, so I was super happy about that. So I think they deserve another shot.
Me too.
Honestly.
Me too.
Yeah.
As far as KI goes, I feel like that can only happen if Microsoft or Double Helix donates a bunch of Xbox Ones, but that could totally happen.
Oh, that's right. The console issue. I completely...
Yeah. But that could totally happen. And it
Yeah.
was, I mean, it was a demo at EVO on stage last year. That kind of makes me think that Microsoft / Double Helix
are thinking about it, right?
would do it, would donate all these Xbox Ones. Because I just don't see EVO wanting to buy that much in hardware.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a good question. How many, so Defend the North, NEC, all these tournaments running Killer Instinct. I wonder how many 360s they have. And are they...
You mean ones?
I'm sorry, Xbox Ones, yeah, 720s, whatever.
Xbones.
God, that drives me
Stupid.
nuts,
Yeah.
But, because the thing is, obviously, there are groups like Focus Fire out there, right? Yeah. So Focus Fire, if you guys don't know, they're literally a group that just has consoles for you to rent for events. Yeah. Right? So Evo last year got a lot of their systems from Focus Fire, right?
Monitors,
systems,
various paraphernalia
like
related to that.
So they're always there. So a lot of tournaments that run on either 360 or PS3, you know, you can rent a bunch of consoles from them.
Right.
And so if they buy a bunch of Xbox Ones and they're available to rent, we might not have to buy 700 Xbox Ones or whatever, right? So
that's true, but if you're Focus Fire, why do you get involved in that right now?
Oh, in the Xbox One, you mean?
Yeah, I mean it's Killer Instinct, and there's definitely demand for that in tournaments, but it's just such a big investment.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So I don't know. Anyway, I feel if Xbox Ones are there, I feel like KI will be there. I think that's the only issue for that game.
I wonder if KI could even be community run a little bit, because let's face it, that's what we did for Smash Brothers last year when they brought in all the CRTs.
True.
Dude, I saw, it was almost like the freak show of TVs.
Right, yeah.
In the Smash section. I saw TVs that were huge to these dinky little TVs, and dude, they played on everything. No one complained. It was pretty fantastic. And you know, we didn't have this listed here, but you know, even Watson's been talking about the Melee community on his blog and how organized and how cooperative and how helpful they are. You know, the Smash community is really, I mean, particularly the Melee community, they're a really strong group, and it's really cool.
Okay, so I guess that's an alternative to having Xbox Ones donated. If the community could get together, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only thing standing between KI and being at EVO is the Xbox One issue, whether it's solved by corporate or by community. I guess either way would be good. So those are my, what did I put up? 6, SF4, Marvel 3, Injustice, Blazblue, Tekken, Smash, and KOF. Those are what I want most. I would love to have Street Fighter Cross Tekken back, just because I really like it. It actually got good numbers last year. It was in the middle when it comes to entrant numbers. So there is a justification there.
Yeah, I mean...
But I don't expect it.
Even the numbers are a little deceiving to me for Cross Tekken, because I feel like a lot of the people who entered that tournament were just people playing Street Fighter 4 and said, I might as well enter this, right?
Could be. I don't know. You know? I don't think it's... Certainly last year, it wasn't like the previous year where people entered Cross Tekken and then just didn't show up to pools. Remember, like, people blew it off. That didn't happen last year. So at least, so at least there's that going for it. But again, I just don't expect it. I would love to have Dive Kick. I'd love to have Skullgirls. I don't really expect either one of those.
Man, there's... well... Skullgirls had an amazing side tournament last year.
Right, and so did Dive Kick.
Yeah.
So that could happen again.
Well, Dive Kick was even thrown onto one of the official EVO streams.
So was Skullgirls.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's right, it was. That's right. Yeah, because they raised so much for the donation. Right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, even a lot of these games don't get in there. There is definitely a chance for amazing side tournaments. So.
Sure, there will always be side tournaments. ST was there. Soul Calibur had a good side tournament. Yeah. That'll happen for sure.
I doubt every single one of them will be streamed by Armando again. Because last year he streamed the Tekken side tournament, Super Turbo side tournament, Soul Calibur side. He almost died last year, so we won't do that to him again. So
Well, that's what I want to see out of Evo. I don't know when the announcement's going to be. Any idea? I don't know if they've said that.
Let me see what your list was again.
Here's my list up here.
SF4, Marvel, Injustice, BB. Yeah, see, I would probably have the same thing, except I would probably replace Injustice with KI.
No.
Actually, let me take that back. I would replace Injustice with KI, and then I'd replace Tekken with Injustice.
I really hope Injustice is in there. I'd be so sad if that game wasn't in there.
Especially because it's balanced now, right?
It's such a good game. Nobody plays it. Why not? It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I want Tekken. My perfect lineup is if it was 7 games right there. That would be my perfect lineup. 7 games. Because I would just take your list and throw in KI.
Okay, I think that's fine.
Because I really want to see how KI pans out.
Yeah, I would root for it to be there. Yeah, that'd be great.
American game, great net code. They've been doing a bang up job listening to community and all this other stuff. You know, adding features like hitbox displays in the games, great training stuff. So I'd love to see that game succeed. So
definitely.
Okay.
Welp, I guess we're about running out of things to talk about.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Blazblue a little bit.
Okay.
Just over the last week and a half, started picking it up. I'm just thinking about playing Hazama. Execution requirements are maybe a little bit too tough. I have to kind of dial myself down on that. So I think I'm just going to play Tager. Seems fun. Even though I quit the original Blazblue because of Tager. Because he was so boring. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That's my idea.
What have people been saying about how he places, like, in tier lists?
Not bottom, like kind of mid-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the characters I'm looking at, which really interested me when you showed me the BlazBlue results, is that second place was using Kokonoe and Amane. And I'm wondering how much Amane was being used, because Amane apparently is the chip character, the chip damage character, and I thought that was really interesting, so I wanted to use him. Also, I mean, I did play Taukaka, and now now it's almost like an inside joke. I have to play all-female cat characters, right?
Yeah, it's like me playing the big grappler.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So it almost feels like we have to end up with Tager and Taukaka, right? It just has to happen.
When I first got it, I was looking at Tager, Hazama, new, because I wanted to play like my Dalsum character.
Oh, right.
But again, just executional requirements, probably not going to do that. And the thing about Tager too is that I kind of feel like I can play Street Fighter in the neutral game with him, because I'm just kind of walking around. Nobody wants to approach me that much unless they have certain timings. So I'm like playing Zangief. Like, I know how to do that. So it's the mix-ups that are different, because he has some crazy crap. So
okay,
we'll see how it goes.
I don't know if people are talking about. Yeah, I'm just curious if you guys know like how Amane works in the game. Send me a tweet at jchensor, because I'm just really curious, because it just sounds super vastly interesting. I watched some matches with him, and he like drops a little. Like, I think it looks like a dreidel, right? Like it spins and like chips, and then at the same time he does like a rose drill that just like chips, and you see the life just go, and it's just like, it's kind of cool looking. Yeah. But then I also heard Kokonoe does that too, so but better. So, but and a lot of people are saying Taukaka is like top 5, so that's another reason just to go with that character. Sure. Not maybe I can play them both. Why not, right?
Well, I'm not playing 2 just because I'm not familiar enough with Blazblue. It's been too long.
Exactly.
So that's why.
So someone asked, actually, why aren't old games like Alpha 2 or Third Strike brought back? Honestly, it's because they're played on older consoles, and so a lot of the times it's just not convenient to do it. And 2, the interest in them is usually pretty specialized to the nostalgia crew. However, I will say that all hints from JeGalaxy sound like that he might have some sort of CVS2 event at CEO this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the last tournament they had like a CVS2 thing, and it sounded like it went really well. So it sounds like he might do something. All right, CEO.
I know he likes the game.
Yeah, so
okay,
that'll
cool.
be really interesting. So
that'd be awesome.
Just if JeGalaxy, if you're watching this and you do run a CVS2 tournament at CEO, my only advice: to make it fun to watch, ban Justin. Okay, there.
Ban Justin.
Dude, seriously.
Just ban him from playing Vega.
Yeah, there you go. Ban Justin's Vega, and we're good. So.
All right, so I guess that's it for tonight. You should head on over to twitch.tv/iplaywinner. That's where the show that sucks will be starting pretty soon.
Yep. Show that sucks, quoted by Pat the Flip as being one of the smartest shows out there. So. Definitely
Really?
check it out. Yeah.
No, but yeah, you should check it out. They have good conversations there a lot of the time. That's happening. Try to put this video up. I don't know. I haven't talked with you about this, but what do you think about putting up the Monday shows on Wednesday and the Tuesday show on Thursday when it comes to YouTube, rather than just like dumping them out at the same time?
That's cool. I'm down with that.
All right, so that's the schedule that we're going to be using from now on. The Monday shows, that is First Attack and Level 3 Focus, those will be up on YouTube on Wednesday. The Tuesday show will be up on YouTube on Thursday.
All right. Peace out, everybody.